When you signed on to this role in The Last of Us, you knew Abby's fate, or Joel's fate, rather, I should say.
Yes.
Did you have any reservations about taking on that role because of that?
No, not at all. I mean, I spent some time playing the first game with my dad. I played it probably twice all the way through with him. And then he started playing the second game without me, and he would talk about this character, Abby. And he was actually the one, before I even got the call from Craig and Neil asking me to play Abby, my dad had been saying it for a little bit, like, oh, I wonder if they're gonna do like a second season of the show, like they're gonna need an Abby, you would be a great Abby. My dad was like he would say that months before, he said that months before. And so when they asked me and they called me in and they were talking about their plans for season 2 and how she's going to be introduced, I obviously knew, I played a little bit of the game before that meeting, and I played as Abby. To me, Abby is such a emotionally powerful character and person that I really was just excited to take on the role. And I obviously know that, like, I'm aware of everyone's deep love for Pedro as Joel, and what that sort of means for the show in general, and it's just a really big deal to be the one that kills Joel. But I think that, you know, I felt like I was in really good hands, you know, but in no way was I guess the controversy or whatever surrounding this character, was that going to stop me from playing her. So no, in a long way to answer that, I was not afraid at all.
I love that your dad said you would be a great Abby.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, you know, I think my dad is just I consider him to be a really like a diehard Last of Us fan. He's played it even more than I have, both games. But I didn't really know who Abby was when he was first telling me about her. And then he was the one who actually gave me the controller and said, hey, I know you haven't played the second game, but just play the end of it. And the end of the game is a big, I don't want to spoil anything for you, but it's a really iconic moment at the very end of the second game. And I just remember being so like intrigued by this woman, and then I obviously went back and played the beginning of Abby's introduction in the game, and I was like, I was mad. I was like, what just happened? Why did she just who is she? And then you start playing as her, and I actually started to think that when you first are playing as Abby, you sort of think you're playing as Ellie. So I was actually really excited to sort of play someone that mirrored Ellie as a character, and I'm excited to get to dive into more of that coming up. But yeah, my dad was a big fan of the games.
I love that. He must be so proud.
Yeah, oh my God, he definitely is a big fan, like sending him videos and pictures. I probably wasn't supposed to be sending any
It's your dad.
spoiler alert stuff from when I was like shooting the show of all of these actors in infected makeup. I would send him photos and videos. He's like, oh my God, that looks just like the game. And he's totally fangirling for sure.
I love it.
It's really funny.
You did it for your dad.
I did. I really did.
So I was going to ask how this role came to you. So walk me through that.
Yeah. The whole world of The Last of Us has actually been in my life for quite some time. I was loosely in talks to play Ellie in the movie form of the video game when they were going to do that many years ago. And as things go in this industry, it kind of just went away and it took on a whole new life. And I think Bella's portrayal of Ellie is truly so magical. And I was just so excited to see the show come out, and I watched it, and I'm a big fan, and I was like, oh wow, this is something I did. Like literally, I think I was 18 when all of that was first going on, or they were going to make the movie. And then once they made the show, I became a huge fan. And then, yeah, I was not expecting that call from Craig Mazin and Neil Druckmann asking me to play a whole new character in this world. And I was just so grateful. I was honestly too, like when I was headed to my meeting, I really thought like, I didn't have a lot of information other than they want me to play this, they want to talk about this character, Abby. and when I got there, they were really like pitching me the role as if like, we've decided that we want you to be, I don't know, I thought there was going to be a series of meetings or I'd have to like really convince them to like, but because this whole show and this story means so much to me. I have such a history with it. I have such a history with Neil Druckmann. And so I was like, oh my God, it's like my second chance to like be a part of this. And they're like, no, we want you to, this is it. We just want to talk to you about working together. And I was like, oh God, this is like so crazy. I was not expecting that. And I called my dad after the meeting. I was like, Dad, I think they just want me to do it. I have the part, which I just feel so lucky and grateful for. It was really such a special moment for me and my dad and our family, I guess.
Were they already talking to you about season 3? Because the 3rd season is obviously very much going to be centered around Abby.
Yes. I always get so nervous about talking about this show because there's so much secrecy
you can
around
say whatever
what I
you
got.
want
Yeah,
here,
well,
it's fine.
can I?
There's just a few cameras rolling, it's fine.
I don't know if I can. But when I had my first meeting with them, they did walk me through what I guess their initial plans were, but not much. We didn't touch on season 3 too much. It was really about what season 2 was going to be and how they were going to structure it differently than the game. And they talked a little bit about season 3, but only a little. So I'm just now getting. I like find out about these things pretty last minute, honestly. Like,
Have you seen a script?
no.
Okay.
Oh no. They wait till the very last second to hand those out. Yeah.
And do you know anything about where her story's going?
I really like, if I guess people can, I guess the lovers of the game can piece together where we might be headed. But no, I don't think I'm even allowed to say where we're going because I also don't know that much information other than I will be the main character of season 3.
So you're like the rest of us. You're in the dark as well.
No, I literally, and they don't send you the scripts like that far ahead, like far away from actual shooting, which is, I think that's how it always goes most of the time. But with this, I think there's so much secrecy behind and protecting the story and the structure of it that they withhold that for as long as possible, which I understand. I respect it.
Now, what is it about The Last of Us that you think has really captivated audiences? Because as you've talked about, obviously there's the game and you had those embedded fans, but there's also so many viewers who didn't even know this is based off a game.
Yeah, I think that it's what's so cool about this show is it does have, kind of like 2 different kinds of fan bases, and one, like you said, with the embedded fans of the game, and then brand new fans that have never even seen the game or know. It's kind of cool that like the game lovers know what's going to happen or know what's coming, and the new fans who didn't play the game have no idea. So it's like a brand new story for them, which I think is kind of cool that it's sort of separated like that. But I think it's amazing. I think it's just kind of, it's escapism. It allows people to sort of step into a world that kind of feels a little familiar. It's like, it's something that could potentially happen. I don't know, post-pandemic, it sort of feels like it's something that feels surreal, but also could be very real at the same time. And I think all of the characters are so beautifully written. The storytelling is unbelievable. And what they've done with season 1 and season 2 is kind of mind-blowing. And I feel like how they've really leveled up with each season. That's one thing I could say about season 3 is what Craig Mazin keeps telling me is that, season 3 is just going to be even bigger than season 2 was, which I don't know how that's even possible because season 2 was such a big season.
Video game fans, they knew what to expect.
Yeah.
Other audience members didn't. So when it came to the episode, it's for some people, the episode everyone was dreading. And then for some viewers, they were in complete shock.
Yeah.
Were you surprised at all by the audience reaction?
No, I wasn't. I think that, well, maybe I was a little bit. I think it was maybe the TikToks I kept looking at that were like everybody's reaction of that second episode was really, really sad, and everyone was really confused. It happened out of nowhere. It happened so fast. I think that was maybe, I think all the TikToks were a little shocking. I didn't know that was going to happen. It was just, it overcame the internet. But I mean, I also knew that, yeah, I was killing the love of everyone's lives.
The internet's boyfriend.
And so I knew that I was expecting it to maybe be worse, actually, but it wasn't. I think it was pretty mellow. Like it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. But I was working on another project at the time that the episode aired, and I went to work the next morning, and there were some people that would just do a funny little like, just look at me and shake their head, and I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Like, we can't even look at you anymore.
Yeah, I had someone recently come up to me, and this was recent. Someone said, like, why did you have to do my boy like that? And I was like, wait, what? I forgot what they were talking about. I'm like, oh, right, The Last of Us, right.
You're like, I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry. I had a job to do. It needed to be done, and
And Pedro, he posted something really sweet saying, you know, that you were the best scene partner and kind of reminding people that this is a role and you are an actor and that you're a delight in real life. So he really stood up for you.
Oh, that post he made was so sweet. I remember that. Everyone kind of also was asking me if that was like a calculated thing. That was like not calculated at all. It was just like he posted this very lovely and sweet photo of the two of us, and we did have a really special bond. And meeting him was. Meeting him and working with him was one of the most special experiences I've had as an actor, really. He is everything you hope he is and more. Like, he's so wonderful. I love him.
Now, I did want to ask you about, you said life circumstances, and if you don't want to talk about it, that's okay, but you shared such beautiful post about your mother, and I'm so deeply sorry.
Thank you for saying that.
I know that happened while you were shooting this.
Yeah.
How did her memory play into your work?
Thank you for asking about her. I always get, I find it like every interview I do now, I'm like, how do I talk about this? How do I talk about my mom in a way that I want her to be like remembered, and also talk about her in a way that's not sad, and or just talk about death in general. I feel like we don't talk about it enough as a society. But I think that, she passed away, I guess 2 weeks before I was actually supposed to shoot. And her funeral was 3 or 4 days before I actually shot my first scene. But I was sort of traveling back and forth between Vancouver and LA while she was still in the hospital. And that time to me now is such a blur. But she knew that I, got this job. I got the job about a year before I started shooting or prepping. And so she was very much aware that I was going to be in The Last of Us, and she was so excited. And her excitement with everything fueled my job and fueled my passion and my drive to keep going, really. And so when she passed and I still had to continue doing this job, I hadn't shot it yet, but I had started training, and there was a moment in time where I didn't think I could do it just because of how broken I was, and I think there was no world in which there was no world where I would not do this show, because she was so excited about it. And I really just had to do it for her and do it in her honor. And I'm very glad that I did.
I think she'd be incredibly proud of your work in the show.
Thank
and
you.
that now you're Emmy nominated for it as well.
Yes, I am, yes.
What was that like? Walk me through Emmy morning when you found out that you were nominated for The Last of Us.
I was in Australia shooting for the past 4 months, and I landed and I was back home, and I was just at home with my family and hanging out with them because I hadn't seen them in 4 months. So I was just in my PJs and celebrated with my family, and it was lovely. It always happens in the morning, which I love. It's like first it starts your day.
Yes.
It's great.
Yes, yes. Congratulations, you were cast in the upcoming Godzilla movie,
Yes.
which is major. That's a
Yeah.
big project.
It's really cool. I'm so excited. It's just because Godzilla is such a, it dates back. Like
Yes.
it's pretty. It feels very like early Hollywood to be a part of Godzilla. Something as big as Godzilla. It's so cool.
Are you excited to enter not just that world, but this giant franchise?
Yeah, I mean, it's new territory for me. And again, it feels different from anything I've done. So I think it feels exciting in that way, just to, tap into a whole new world, a whole new genre.
Is there anything that you can tease about the film
I don't think so.
without getting fired? You already shot it. They can't really do anything.
Well, they could. I could
Yeah.
get cut out of the film, which is also
Right,
a big
okay.
fear of mine.
We
No,
don't want that to happen. We don't want that to happen.